When a determined young journalist lands the biggest assignment of her career, she is told to uncover the ruthless truth about a billionaire businessman who controls half the city. Their first meeting, high above the sparkling skyline, is supposed to be a simple, sharp interview. Hard questions, cold answers, and a story that could make or break both of them. But as she digs deeper into his guarded world, she starts to see the lonely man behind the money. And as he faces her fearless honesty, he discovers a woman who challenges everything he thought he wanted. Between private jets and tiny coffee shops, whispered confessions and dangerous headlines, their connection grows into something neither of them planned. With careers, reputations, and lives in the spotlight, they must decide what matters more: the truth they were trained to protect, or the love they never expected to feel. Chapter 1: The Assignment. I still remember the email that changed everything. IT arrived on a Tuesday morning, while rain tapped against the newsroom windows and the smell of burnt coffee filled the air. I was editing a small piece about local housing problems when my editor, Mark, called out my name. "Ethan, front office," he shouted over the noise of ringing phones. When I stepped into his glass office, he did not waste time with small talk. He simply turned his monitor toward me. On the screen was a photo of him, Alexander Reed, the billionaire everyone loved to hate, founder and CEO of Reed Global. The man whose name lit up the stock market and filled endless opinion pieces. "We got the green light," Mark said. "Exclusive long-form piece on Reed. Access to his office, his people, even his schedule for a week if we wanted. You are going to lead it." My heart jumped. Alexander Reed was a dream subject for any journalist. Rich, powerful, secretive. Some people said he was ruthless, others called him a genius. Either way, stories about him exploded online. "You want me to do a profile?" I asked. "I want more than a profile," Mark replied, lowering his voice. "I want the truth. There are rumors about how he built his empire. I want you to dig, but start with a clean interview. Tonight, top floor of the Reed Global Tower." As I left the office, I saw her at her desk, just a few rows down. Emma Hayes. I had watched her grow from an unpaid intern to one of our sharpest young reporters. She was leaning over her laptop, brown hair falling over her shoulder, eyes focused the way only a true journalist's eyes focus. She caught me staring and smiled. "Big news?" she asked. "Maybe," I said. "How do you feel about heights?" Her eyebrows lifted. "I like them." "Why?" "You are coming with me tonight," I told her. "We are going to meet Alexander Reed." Chapter 2: The First Spark. The Reed Global Tower cut into the night like a sheet of glass. From the street, it looked cold and perfect. But as Emma and I rode the private elevator to the top, I could feel her tension beside me. She checked her notes for the third time. "Do you think he will actually answer anything real?" she asked. "We will make him," I said. Truth was, I was not sure. The elevator doors opened to a quiet hallway dressed in soft gray and silver. A personal assistant led us into his office. Alexander Reed stood by the window, suit jacket off, white shirt folded at the sleeves. He was not as tall as I expected, but his presence filled the room. Short blonde hair, sharp blue eyes, athletic build. He turned toward us with a practiced business smile. "Mr. Reed," I began, holding out my hand. "I'm Ethan Price, and this is Emma Hayes." His gaze moved over me quickly, then stopped on her. For a second, something shifted in his eyes. Curiosity, maybe. Or surprise. "Emma," he repeated, shaking her hand. "Nice to meet you both. I do not usually do this kind of thing, so let's see if you can make it interesting." We sat across from him at a long glass table. I started with the safe questions: his early days, his first investment, the moment his company took off. He answered smoothly, like he had told these stories 100 times. But Emma did not come to play safe. "Your company closed 2 factories last year," she said at one point, her voice steady. "Thousands of people lost their jobs. How do you sleep at night knowing your decisions changed so many lives?" The room went silent. I held my breath. Alexander's eyes narrowed slightly. Most men in his position would have ended the interview right there. Instead, he leaned forward. "Do you lose sleep every time your paper ruins someone's reputation?" he asked. She did not look away. "If I am wrong, yes. If I am right, I sleep just fine." Their eyes locked, neither willing to back down. In that moment, I understood that this story would be bigger than I planned. There was something electric in the space between them. Conflict, yes, but also a strange pull neither of them seemed to expect. Alexander exhaled slowly. "You want the truth, Miss Hayes?" he said. Then you will have to stay longer than one interview. Emma pressed the record button again. Then we should start now. Chapter 3. Lines on the page. Back at the newsroom, the city still dark outside. Emma played back the audio while I watched her face. Every time Alexander's voice came through the speakers, her eyes narrowed, like she was trying to see through his words. "What do you think?" I asked. "I think he is hiding something," she said. "But not in the way everyone says. There is more to the factory story. And the way he talked about his first company, he skipped over a whole year." "You noticed that too," I said. She smiled faintly. "I notice everything. We started building the piece together. My name would go on the byline, but Emma's work shaped every paragraph. We printed his old interviews, traced timelines, marked contradictions in red ink. The more she studied him, the less simple he became. One afternoon, as she sat in a small coffee shop near the office, her phone buzzed. It was an unknown number. "Emma Hayes," she answered. "Miss Hayes," a familiar voice replied. "This is Alexander Reed. I believe you want more than a polished story. Come back. Without your editor. Without your senior partner. Just you." Later, as she told me about the call, I could see the storm in her eyes. Ambition, fear, and something else she did not want to name. "I should go," she said. "If we want the real story, I have to see him without all the walls. You know it will not just be about business," I warned her. She met my gaze. "Nothing big ever is." Chapter 4. Dinner with the Billionaire. Alexander chose a private restaurant with a hidden terrace that overlooked the river. He met her at the entrance himself, no assistant, no security in sight. "You came alone," he said as they stepped outside to a table lit by candles. "You asked me to," she replied. That he studied her for a moment. "Most people do not tell me no," he said. "You have already done it twice." "Maybe that is why you called me," she answered. When she told me about that night later, she did not tell me every word. But she did share the parts that mattered. That he told her about his childhood in a cramped apartment, a father who drank too much, a mother who worked 2 jobs. About the first time he saw the skyline and promised himself he would own a piece of it. She asked why he closed those factories, why he did not fight harder to save those jobs. His eyes went dark. "I chose to save the company instead of a few locations," he said. "If I went under, more people would lose more than jobs. Whole towns would suffer. You write about numbers, Miss Hayes. I live them." She looked at him in the soft light, the city glowing behind him, and saw, maybe for the first time, not a monster, not a hero, but a man carrying more weight than he was willing to show. When they stepped out into the street after dinner, rain had started to fall. He shrugged off his jacket and placed it over her shoulders. "You will get sick," he said. She laughed. "I am stronger than I look." "I am starting to believe that," he answered. As he watched her walk away, jacket wrapped tight around her, something in him shifted, like a door opening in a house he thought was already fully built. Chapter 5. Cracks in the glass. The closer Emma and I got to the truth, the more pressure fell on both sides. Did I end the newsroom? Mark pushed hard. "We need something sharp," he said. "People are ready to believe the worst about him. Give them reasons." Emma's jaw tightened. "What if the truth is not that simple?" she asked. He frowned. "Do not fall for his charm, Emma. Guys like him know exactly what to say." At the same time, rumors began to swirl around Reed Global. A competitor leaked documents, half true and twisted. On the news screens in Alexander's lobby, harsh headlines appeared. Accusations of unfair deals, secret accounts, broken promises. One night, after a particularly painful meeting with our editor, Emma stormed out of the building into the rain. I followed her to the street, but someone got to her first. Alexander stepped out of a black car, umbrella in hand. He saw her standing there, soaked and furious, and walked toward her. "Rough day?" he asked. "Did you lie to me?" she shot back. "Is there something I have not found yet that will blow everything apart?" Water ran down their faces, the street lights turning each raindrop into a spark. "I have made mistakes," he said quietly. "But I did not lie to you." "How do I know that?" she asked. "How can I trust a man who built a life on deals and numbers?" He looked at her like she was the only person in the world. "Because you are the only one I have told everything to. And because you would destroy me in print if you found out otherwise." They stood there, inches apart, anger mixing with an attraction they no longer could ignore. For a moment, it seemed he would step closer, that the space between them would finally disappear. Instead, he took a step back. "Write what you have to write," he said. "But do not forget who you met when the recorders were off." Then he turned and walked away, leaving her alone with the storm. Chapter 6. Two Truths. Days passed in a blur of late nights and cold coffee. Emma dug deeper, beyond headlines and gossip. She found old employees who still spoke well of him, charities he funded quietly, communities he helped rebuild after storms and fires. She also found truths that hurt, deals that pushed small competitors out, decisions that saved his company but crushed others. "You cannot paint him as a saint," Mark insisted. "And I will not paint him as a villain if that is not the full story," she answered. One evening, she met Alexander in a quiet park at sunrise. No cameras, no contracts, just two people sitting on a bench, breath visible in the cold air. "Why did you really agree to this article?" she asked him. "Because people already made up their minds about me," he said. "Maybe I thought it was time to let someone see the whole picture. Or maybe I was just tired of being alone at the top." She stared at the path in front of them. "You are not the only one who can lose something here," she said. "If I go soft on you, I lose my name, my work, everything I built. I do not want you to go soft," he replied. "I want you to be honest, even if it hurts me." She turned to him then, and in his face she saw no mask, no performance. Just a man her age would have called too serious, a boy who grew up too fast, a billionaire who had forgotten how to be anything but strong. "Emma," he said, voice lower now. "If things were different, if I were not who I am and you were not who you are." She stopped him. "We cannot live in if," she whispered. But as they walked side by side along the river, the distance between their shoulders got smaller, and the world outside that quiet path began to feel very far away. Chapter 7. The Breaking Point. The breaking point came on a Thursday that a rival paper dropped a brutal piece on Alexander, filled with leaked documents, wild claims, and half-truths. Their story went viral within hours. Comment sections lit up with anger and excitement. Stock prices dipped. Social media burned his name. In our newsroom, everyone turned to Emma. "We need to respond," Mark said. "Now, use what you have. Use what he told you. Beat them with the full story before he controls the narrative." Emma sat in front of her computer, hands frozen over the keyboard. Every quote, every secret moment, every soft look on that park bench flashed through her mind that if she wrote everything she knew, she could clear him on some charges and still cut him deeply on others. She could make her career. She could also destroy the small, fragile trust that had grown between them. Across town, Alexander stood beneath burning lights at a press conference, cameras pointed straight at him. He answered questions, defended decisions, denied some claims, and admitted others. On one side of the screen, his face was calm. On the other side, in our newsroom, Emma's eyes were full of conflict. When the conference ended, she slipped out, phone buzzing with calls she did not answer. In a quiet hallway behind the building where the press conference had taken place, she found him alone at last. "You should be writing," he said, tired. "I cannot write this story like it is just another piece," she replied. "Because it is not. Not anymore." He looked at her slowly. "What are we talking about now, Emma? Business or something else?" "Both," she whispered. It was the first time either of them had said aloud what had been growing in the spaces between their questions and answers. This was no longer just about a businessman and a journalist. This was about two people who had something to lose in each other. Chapter 8. Choosing the Ending. That night, Alexander sent Emma a message with a single line. Rooftop. 1 hour. The sky was clear when he stepped onto the top of his tower. He had turned off the bright office lights, leaving only a few strings of soft bulbs and the endless city spread below like fallen stars. He waited, hands in his pockets, every minute heavier than the last. Part of him believed she would not come. Maybe she would choose her career. Maybe she already had. Then the door opened behind him. He turned and saw her standing there, wind playing with her long brown hair, eyes shining in the half-light. "You came," he said. "I almost did not," she admitted. "I almost stayed at my desk and wrote the sharpest story of my life." "And now?" he asked. She walked closer, until he could see the small tremble in her hands. "Now I want to ask you one last question," she said. "No recorder. No notes. Just you and me." He nodded. "Ask. If I print everything I know, if I am fair and honest and ruthless where I need to be, your image may never be the same," she said. "But if I soften it, if I hold things back because of what I feel for you, I lose myself. So tell me, Alexander, what do you want me to do?" He stepped closer, the city humming below them like a giant, unseen heart. "I want you to tell the truth," he said. "About me, about the factories, about the things I did wrong, and the things I tried to fix. And if there is room in that truth for the man who met you on a rainy street and finally felt seen, include him too. She swallowed. And us? She asked, voice barely a whisper. What happens to us when the story is out? That, he said softly, is not your job to protect. It is mine. In that moment, with the wind tugging at their clothes and the lights of the city burning around them, the lines finally blurred. He raised a hand and brushed a raindrop, or maybe a tear, from her cheek. She did not pull away. What happened next would live far beyond any headline. When she finally wrote her piece, it was not a love letter, and it was not an attack. It was messy and honest, full of praise and criticism, numbers and names, facts and feelings. Readers saw, maybe for the first time, a billionaire who was not easy to love or easy to hate, but real.as for Alexander and Emma. Their story did not fit neatly in a single article. It lived in late-night phone calls after the story went live, in quiet corners of crowded rooms, in a shared understanding that love, like truth, is rarely simple, but always worth the risk. And somewhere high above the city, on a rooftop they both now called theirs, two people who started as a subject and a journalist stood side by side, watching the lights flicker, knowing that whatever storms came next, they had at least chosen each other with open eyes. If you enjoyed this romantic tale of power, truth, and unexpected love, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications so you never miss a new story, give a like to this video if it touched your heart, leave a comment sharing your thoughts about Emma and Alexander, and share this video with friends who love emotional love stories as much as you do.